All right, if you're in Shoreline and you're trying to find the perfect dog trainer for your furry best friend, well, you're in exactly the right spot. We're going to walk through everything you need to know so you can feel really good about the choice you make.
It's so true. Having a well-behaved dog completely changes your experience here. It means you can actually relax and enjoy all the cool spots Shoreline has, whether you're grabbing a coffee, walking the interurban trail, or just hanging out in one of the parks.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about training specifically for life here in Shoreline. Then, how to spot a quality trainer. We'll get into programs and what they cost. And finally, we'll touch on local rules and resources. Let's get right to it. So, let's start with Section 1, training for Shoreline life. Why does this matter so much in our community? Well, think about it. Training is so much more than just the basic commands, right? It's about those everyday moments. It's about a peaceful walk where your arm isn't getting pulled out of its socket. It really just comes down to enjoying our community together, safely and respectfully.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, finding a quality trainer. This is all about what to look for in a professional. So we know why we need the training, but how do we find the right person to help us? Let's break down what makes a trainer truly great.
All right, let's talk about the single most important concept you'll hear about: positive reinforcement. Honestly, it's the gold standard in modern dog training. It basically means you reward the behaviors you want to see more of. So when your dog does something right, they get something they love, like a tasty treat or some praise. It's a way more effective and humane way to teach them to make good choices on their own. Now, how do you know if a trainer really knows their stuff? Well, certifications are a great place to start. You'll see things like CPDTKA or KPA-CTP. These basically mean the trainer has passed rigorous exams and is committed to ongoing education. And if you're dealing with more serious stuff like aggression or anxiety, look for a certified behavior consultant like an IAAUBC CBDC. These credentials are a huge indicator of a trainer's level of expertise.
Okay, this is your toolkit. When you're interviewing trainers, you'll want to ask these 5 questions. Seriously, write them down. Their answers will give you a super clear picture of their philosophy, their qualifications, and if they're really the right match for you and your dog's specific needs. It helps you cut through the noise and focus on what's important.
All right, Section 3 is all about programs and local pricing. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what your options are and, of course, what the budget looks like for training. So you've basically got 2 main paths here: group classes or private lessons. Group classes, they're fantastic for practicing around distractions, other dogs and people, and they're usually more budget-friendly. Private lessons are your go-to for one-on-one attention. If you have a specific issue you need to work on, like barking at the door, having a trainer come to your home can make all the difference. So what does a private lesson actually cost? Here in the Shoreline area, you're typically looking at somewhere between $120 and $200 for a 1-hour session. Keep in mind, most trainers offer packages of multiple lessons, which usually brings that price per session down a bit. This table gives you a really good overview of what to expect for different types of programs. As you can see, a 6-week puppy or obedience class is going to be in the few $100 range. Packages of in-home sessions will be a bit more, and then you have board and train programs, which are the most intensive and also the biggest investment. This should help you figure out what works for your budget and your training goals. And for our last section, Section 4, Shoreline Rules and Resources. This is where we get to talk about putting all that hard work to use out in the real world and being a great dog-owning citizen here in our city. Okay, just a quick rundown of the key rules here in Shoreline. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Your dog needs to be on a leash that's 8 feet or shorter in public, they need to be licensed with King County, and of course, they need a current rabies vaccine. Following these just helps make sure everyone can enjoy our public spaces. So you've done the training. Now, where do you go to practice? Let's look at some great local spots. We are super lucky to have some awesome spots in Shoreline to work on skills. The Shoreview Off-Leash Dog Park is perfect for practicing your dog's recall. A place like Cromwell Park is great for working on those leash skills with all the usual park distractions. And for polite passing, you really can't beat the interurban trail. There are plenty of places to get out there and reinforce all that good behavior. Because really, that's what this is all about, isn't it? The end goal is a dog you feel confident with and way, way less stress for you. So think about it for a second. How would a well-behaved dog change your life here in Shoreline? We really wish you the best of luck on your training journey. Just imagine having a calm walk through the farmer's market or having people over to your house without any chaos. That's the real payoff, just enjoying your life with your dog in our amazing community.